live? Are we here? Is everybody here? I think we're cooking. I think we're good to go. Well, I'm gonna keep the news going, I guess you could say, as for anyone that's gonna watch this later as a VOD, uh, the state of the channel. I streamed a few times this weekend. I did one on Friday, and I did a longer one on Saturday, if I'm right. That's been a lot of fun. I think what I want to do as I go forward, I'd like to just do a good little stream on Sunday afternoon for a few hours. Not really setting a time limit on myself currently, but we'll see. We'll see how we feel and how things go out. And I'm just gonna have some fun with it. I got some more videos going down the chamber. How I have it out now, I've got 6 videos coming. That means the doomsday clock on the channel, if I just magically disappeared, you'd get videos until the middle of May. So hopefully that's some good news for you. And they're mostly shorter form. They're within the 5-6 minute range. I'm hoping once summer comes, I'll have more time to make a nice long form video essay or 2 throughout the summer. Maybe 3, maybe 17. Who knows? Who's to say? But those are the plans right now. Just gonna play some of the newest, hottest games today. This just came out, April 27th, 2025. Brand new release, Baldur's Gate: Dark Alliance. Absolutely incredible, unbelievable game. No, obviously this is an old game. I love this game. I played it a lot as a kid. I think I'm gonna have a lot more fun with it as an adult. And you know what? I'm going easy mode. I'm gonna be a little baby. Not that I'm a believer that difficulty shouldn't necessarily matter. It's about how much fun you're having. And I think easy mode in this game, the game's not too hard. But it's nice to just be able to kick back, I don't want to be sweating on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm going with my favorite guy, the Archer. That's how many viewers I had. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
You are weary from your travels, but mesmerized at the sight of Baldur's Gate. Not only a town of myth and legend, but also a place where one can find fame and fortune round every corner.
I don't know if I got tired
it is night
of
as you enter the city,
really cool,
and it seems strangely deserted.
Commentary or voice acting as I got older, or if I just appreciated the older stuff
that
better.
The night holds danger as well. And in an instant, that danger is upon
Look
you.
out! Oh no! Oh! Man, I wish I had been there to tell him that would happen. I guess that's actually me, though.
Hagar. Indeed. Let's see what our little ambush has won us.
I've never thought about it, but Karn's mask...
It's the watch.
And that is Jim Cummings, by the way. I'm almost positive that it is Winnie the Pooh.
The rest for the watch.
That the guard is the voice actor. Pretty cool.
Damnable thieves. They grow bolder with each passing day.
Still some life in this one. Looks like all they did was make off with some possessions.
Easy there. That's quite a blow you took.
Those thieves that attacked made off with your possessions. But at least you're alive.
It's really tragic. I actually had 70,000 gold and
you'd best stay off the streets
fully enchanted equipment. That's a huge bummer.
It's not safe.
Surprised this got all so quick.
You could seek shelter in the Elf Song Tavern. It's close enough.
It's literally right there. They could hear you. They heard this all happening outside. They just didn't do anything about it.
Could be one of them would even know how to find those that attacked you.
I guess to be fair, there was a loading zone in between, so I can't get too mad at them.
Drawn by a haunting voice, you come to the Elf Song Tavern. It is a small place, filled with a motley assortment of patrons. And
that's the spoiler. Not spoiler,
there,
but
the haunting voice is all
Karn's
around
mask
you.
looks like the
patrons
beholder,
are silent,
which is actually, we'll find out a lot later, is the leader of the Thieves Guild.
They all seemed lost in its call.
fantastic intro, as far as I'm concerned.
Beautiful
Short,
song,
sweet.
isn't it?
And,
I've heard her sing 100 times.
that's
and each
our
time it still moves me.
2000s RPG character. Female character. Very, yeah. I'm not really going
It's
to
the
comment
spirit of
much
an
else on it.
elven woman.
Other
She
than,
haunts this tavern, singing once
I
every
can't say
couple of
things have
nights.
changed as far as female attire and appearance in video games. If anything, they've gotten worse, depending on where
No
you
one
look.
truly knows. Her spirit
That's not
was
our
here
problem
when I
today.
first
We're
bought
just here
this
to have a fun
tavern.
RPG.
Some
And
say she sings for
frankly,
a
there's
lost
not
love,
much of that
a soldier who died
funny
defending
business
Baldur's
throughout the
Gate.
rest of the game.
They say she sings in the hope he will hear her voice and return home. Still, that's nothing but hearsay and tales. Welcome to the Elf Song Tavern. What can I get you?
I got robbed. You probably heard it. Didn't come out.
Sounds
That's
like
okay.
members
I'm
of
not
that new thieves guild I've
mad.
been hearing
I'm not
about.
that mad.
You're lucky to be alive. Word
Oh.
is they're responsible for the murder of 2 city
Oh.
watchmen and the disappearance
Well,
of
we
several
can't have
thieves from the
that.
old guild.
I'm not a fan of murder in my town.
Yes. Look, I wouldn't cross blades with those thugs if I were you. Just stay clear of them unless you want to end up dead in an alley, all right?
Well, they stole every last coin I had. I only had 3 coins. I'm embarrassed to admit that. But,
No one knows where their guild hall is.
we actually never find an
Still,
answer out to how
if
much
you're
money we
determined
had.
to find them,
But
try
I'm
the
gonna
sewers.
wager we end this game with a lot more money than we had walking in.
I'll
Well,
wager they've been
pretty
using
good
them to move
ROI
around Baldur's
as
Gate.
far as I'm concerned. Return on
Probably
interest
what's been
on
driving
the
all those sewer rats up
getting
to the
robbed
surface.
business. I'm in the fight though.
Well, there's a gate to the sewers in the cellar of this tavern. I locked it up a long time ago, before the Guild War began.
Well, I want
Well,
in.
there's a problem with that. Actually, maybe we can help each other out.
All right.
Well,
What's
we've
the
had
deal?
to lock up the cellar because of the horde of rats that suddenly showed up down
Oh,
there.
rats? That's not
Clear
a problem
them
at
out
all.
for me, and I'll give you the key to the sewer gate.
What about you? But I'm
and
a big
little
rat
gold to
guy.
help you get back on your feet.
Big rat fan.
What do you say?
Big.
The door to the cellar's locked, so you'll need to get the key from Ethon over in the corner there. Luck be with you. And watch those rats. Some of them can be vicious when backed in a corner.
As someone who is friends with quite a few people that own rats, like actual pet rats, I've definitely
Welcome, friend. I saw you come
I've
in.
definitely become a
Nasty
dissenter
bump on
of
head
the
you've got there.
RPG discourse
Something I
of
can do for you?
rats being one of your first enemies. It's a big Morrowind, Oblivion, this game, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons,
I do.
early
We locked
fantasy
the door to the
deals
cellar
deal
once
with
the rats
rats
started
as
swarming
enemies.
around down there.
Rats are
Did you need it for
rats are our
something?
friends, you know.
Are you sure it was the rat problem? Or are you thinking of hunting down those thieves that attacked you?
Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but
I overheard your conversation with Aelith. Look, friend. You've met them once and escaped with your life. Don't test your luck twice.
again, iterating this still to every last coin.
Well, if the thieves won't keep you from going down there,
I've got to
maybe
wager
the
we had a lot
rats
of money
will.
coming in before we walked in. But like I said, I don't
all
think
right
we had
then.
more than
I
we
won't say I
will
didn't
end with.
warn you. Here's the key to the cellar door. Don't be too long, or else I'll have to come down and get you. Oh, and before you go, take this dagger. It's not much, but it might do you some good.
Thank you. Alright guys, welcome to our challenge where I'm going to beat the whole game using the rusty dagger. Yeah, not really. Not even close. While I've got a break here, I'm just going to check the audio really quick on the stream. Give me just a second.
I can't do that here.
And we're good. We're golden. Apologies for that. Just making sure everything's alright on my end. I'm fairly new to the streaming biz, if you can't tell. So, just trying to do right by everybody. But let's get this started. Let's get going. No good to talk to the shopkeeper right now. 'Cause
What do you
I got no
want?
money.
I got no coin to spare, so don't think your begging will make me part with a single copper.
Well, I don't want
Oh,
your
there's
money.
always been thieves in Baldur's Gate. This latest batch may be a
Frank, he's
bit
got a
more
very Canadian
bloodthirsty
fit
than
about
most, but
him.
they haven't crossed me yet. Still, I'd rather be able to part with my coins at the bar than keep them in my purse.
He does not look like a modern man. Or, sorry, he looks like a modern man. He does not look like an old-timey fantasy guy, which I'm fine with. I dig the toque. That's what we call it up in Canada. I'm not Canadian, by the way. I just grew up near the border, so I take claim wherever it's you know beneficial for me to claim that I'm Canadian. I did that in Europe actually, quite a few times. I haven't been to Europe a lot, but a few times that I've been to Europe, I have made the calculated call of saying I was Canadian. I'm gonna go over our old save. Not a big deal. Just because I was a little embarrassed to call myself American to some of those people at the time. Now, there's one thing to say about embarrassment and being ashamed of who you are, I guess you could say, or where you're from. But was it helpful? Yeah, it honestly was helpful. There was some political bad stuff going on at the time in the U.S. Some would say there still is, unfortunately, or well, more so now than ever. But we don't have to get into that. Yeah, a little tip for you if you're American and are ashamed of it and you happen to be traveling abroad. You can pass off as Canadian. Well worth it. And that's not real professional advice. I'm not saying to be unethical with it, but I'm also saying it has helped me more than it hurt. So, there's that. This game is pretty good about the instant gratification. You very immediately get a little bit of a better weapon. And that will continue to be the case. Now, to be fair to Ethan being the guy who sent us down here in the first place to take care of the rats, these are massive rats. These are your rats of unusual size from that movie that I know I think it's Princess Bride. I haven't really watched it, guys, I'll be honest. I know that's my wheelhouse. A lot of good people I know that I have similar interests with love that movie. But I haven't, in memory, actually seen it in its entirety. But yeah, we're talking about some rats of unusual size here. These are some big lads. Or in lasses. Now I picked the archer, which isn't very, you would think it's not so like convenient for melee combat, but he's got great strength to start off with, and already good dexterity. He's got good stats. He's a good pull, and not to say that I'm like sizeist. The dwarf fighter certainly is a bit better off the bat at melee fighting, but the human archer, he ends up doing just fine.
Stay down.
And there's magic in this game. You get it on this little wheel here in the corner. It's giving a very efficient HUD for the time. Does a really good job of just letting you enjoy the screen. You also have the main map, which is right there. That's the block button. I forgot what button that was. It's good to know. Yeah, so I won't keep that up a lot because I know where I'm going generally. But it's nice to pull up every now and then, and I'll show you in a bit. But it's very useful for finding secret areas, because it does a classic thing where you can still see a hidden room on the mini map and go, hey, that's different from what I see. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'd say this game has a very classic RPG progression as far as the enemies you fight. To a certain point. Act 1 is pretty classic progression. I'd say Act 2 and 3 get pretty wild with it. I can't. We will not make it that far today. I can't promise that. But I would say Acts 2, 3, and 4. I guess 4 would be kind of the tower, the finale of the game. So it's much shorter. I would say those 3 acts do a very, very good job, the later portion of this game, of introducing some very, very unique enemies, taking advantage of the Dungeon Dragons license, pulling some very interesting. And we're already done the rat quest. So fortunately, for our rat friends and rat owners out there, we're mostly done the rat killing portion of the game. It's that quick. This game is fairly short overall. I'd say a good playthrough, if you maintain a kind of decent speed of things. 12 hours? I could be very wrong. That time to complete website would tell you a lot better than little old me. And I'm silly. I want to equip that shield I just got, and I think I just got a helmet too. Which isn't worth anything. It doesn't give me any defense, so I'm going to be a little bit of a min-maxer there, and what I want to do is, I'm just going to sell that for some dough. If it doesn't give me any armor, it's not worth wearing. I'll show you what it looks like, though. You know, decent. We'll get one in a minute. I reckon that'll actually do something for us, and I'll be happy with that. Here's that bottle that guy wanted, and I'll tell you what.
This looks important.
It don't look too impressive to me, but I'm not a partaker these days. These are my old days. I'm an old man now. I don't do those things anymore. It does actually look like the exact kind of bottle of grape juice that Phoenix Wright likes to drink. If you're an Ace Attorney fan, Ace Attorney 4, Apollo Justice. Phoenix Wright likes to dabble in the grape juice. It becomes a plot point. It's obviously wine, but they're trying to make it a kid's game. Although I think the later games end up being rated M anyway.
You're back. Did you see Ethan down there?
No.
He followed you down there not long ago, and I fear he may have gotten lost in the cellar. Or worse, he may have
got
wandered
lost
into
in
the
the
sewers.
4
I tried to
rooms.
stop him.
Well, you know, who's to say? Maybe in first person it's dark down there.
Thank you. But before you go,
we're blessed with the
please
item
take these
FPV when they
coins.
aren't. Okay. Well, she didn't. I'm skipping that. She didn't need to take it out of there. But again, it is a 2000s game. Although I keep pretending that it didn't. That it just didn't get worse as time went on. I would say those games at least have found their niche. I can't do that here. You can't do that? Oh, I tried to jump. That's my mistake. Now this guy's a character.
Friend. If you're looking for a good blade or a sturdy shirt of chainmail,
he's in the sequel as well. I tell you what, the sequel is a fantastic addition to the series. I say series, it's 2 games. Excuse me. He's one of the few characters that
we have many fine deals. What are you looking for?
I'm gonna do a little bit of that. I am sure. I'm very positive I want to sell that. Thank you, though. I'm gonna sell some of these for some quick early cash because I'm not mage boying right now.
Carries the finest dwarven weapons.
I'm gonna drop out really quick to equip that longsword. I'm gonna go back in.
Swords.
I don't even know what I can get.
We have everything you need right here.
I'm gonna be a real goof. I'm gonna be a goof and a gaff. I'm gonna hold off on getting anything new because I just don't know. But I'm gonna find something better immediately.
What do you want? Oh, there's... yeah. Hi, it'll do me.
He gives us a big fat healing potion, which frankly is probably a miss for him. If there were healing potions in the real world, I would imagine they're fantastic hangover cures. So, good luck to him and all. The really convenient thing about this game is the recall option, which is very classic of your kind of Diablo dungeon crawler business. Handy for us right now, though. We can just get right back into it. Yeah, but I was just saying, I'm so bad about, in video games, like, I'm one of those hoarders. I'll save everything that, I think might be useful. And I'm also really bad about buying and using new equipment, using all my money when I can. Because I'm always worried that I'm immediately going to... Yeah, I'm really good at that in this game also. It's just smashing the ignited freaking barrels. Perks of playing an easy mode is I'm not immediately obliterated by that. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I have a hard time with letting go of items or my gold in a game if I really just am convinced that an item just as good is about to come around the corner. Funny enough, when I end up in a late game of a game, kind of growing on the, getting in on a lot of money, you know, like if I'm playing Skyrim and I end up with 100,000 gold, I actually really look forward to, like, serious money sinks in games later. Once I know that I'm not, like, in financial straits in the video game, I'm always pretty happy to spend it. You see, we've already upgraded from rats to, goblins? No, kobolds. Actually, no. Kobolds are in Baldur Gate too. I think those are actually just goblins. And as much time as it's going to take up, I am an absolute sucker for breaking all the gates open. I love getting everything I can out of an area. I'll talk about this in a future video, but I'm a grind guy, you know? I do like doing a bit of grinding in games. And I think the most satisfying method for myself is not spending a million hours in one area, but especially early areas. I really love just squeezing them for all the content and experience and equipment that I can get out of them. Just so that I like being a little bit overleveled, a little bit extra prepared for the next area that I'm taking in. And it seems to me it's almost always worked out in an RPG, where I end up kind of steamrolling through the game because of that. And here's one of our... I mean, it's kind of obvious on the actual map anyway. But, yeah, your mini-map there will help you out. I'll tell you there's an area there. It looks like I have a short bow. Now, here's why I'm opposed to archery in this first game, is the arrows thing. I don't think I picked any up, but you do use ammunition, you get dealt bunches of arrows that you have to use. I will take those boots. Thank you. I'm gonna drop those, because they're not worth anything. Yeah, I unfortunately in this first game, I'm just not a fan of archery, only because of the ammunition. The second game fixes that.
What's
You just
this
get
you've
any
called?
ammunition.
A sewer rat?
Oh, and look what happened to Ethon. Well. And there's a bugbear. Got a bugbear
Don't
there.
hurt him. Lord Xantum will wish to speak to him, and he'll need to be in the best of health.
Xantum? I guess that's the,
Ah, excellent. I was
Well, I
expecting
won't
you.
spoil it.
Did you receive the package from Lord Xantum?
I don't remember that being his name. But
I did.
it's not like the
I have it
game's
with
wrong. Definitely the wrong one there.
And you know where it is bound?
Ross Scott, like
He told me to take it
Accursed
to the
Farms
crypts
game dungeon.
and place it within the
He talks
chamber of
about
ashes
he's talked
there.
a lot recently about gamer dementia, like just not
Excellent.
remembering things from the game
entrance
the way
you
it used
seek
to be,
lies on the level below past the
thinking
sewer
that he's going
grates.
crazy. But
Let no one see you enter the temple and do
unfortunately, it's just
exactly
the
as you have
Mandela
been
effect,
instructed.
I would say.
Now be on your way.
Well, I don't know about you guys,
I
but
will return to
Ethon
the
is
prisoner later. Guard him
probably the
well.
best friend I've ever had. So I'd be very remiss if he were something bad would have happened to him. So I'm gonna put my whole life on the line just to save him. It does feel unfortunate that I mean, I'm fine with saving the guy. Never had a problem with that. We didn't really get much characterization of the Ethon character. I was kind of hoping, maybe someone could make a good 15-hour video essay on Ethon from Baldur's Gate. I actually don't know. I'm going to look it up later. Or if you're watching the VOD, you could comment on if there's a good or if there's any Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance retrospective essays. I've never seen one. I don't know if I'm the guy to make one. I just don't know if I could do that super long form content, deep analysis of a particular game. If I did one, it'd be very narrow-minded. I'd probably title it like Cursory Glance rather than full retrospective. But if there is one, I'd be very interested in watching that. Even though I already know everything they're going to say, probably. I just like seeing games I really enjoy. I'm sure you feel the same way. I like seeing what other people have to say about the atmosphere of the game, the way that made them feel, certain insight into mechanics or moments, or the things that are good, the things that are bad. Especially games I played when I was a kid. So I just don't think I have retrospectively nice drop, dude. Nice name drop. Have taken the time with some of my favorite games as a kid to really analyze what it is I actually enjoy about it, like from a creative point. So that'd be all that to say. Really long-winded way of saying, hey, comment with a good channel that's made one if there is one. The thing about blocking this game is it does just work. There's not any stats or numbers behind it. As long as you have a shield, you can block and it will block incoming missile damage. So this guy's gonna hurt you. And I've never thought about this. What's going on upstairs that's blowing deadly steam into the I didn't even see that guy. Oh, it's a rat. That's why. He's in the water. Also, pretty good water physics this time. I'm pretty happy with that. I would say, I think this is, I actually don't know what year this came out. 2002? I'm going to put my money on 2002. But I might be, no, 2002. 2004? I can't wait to be wrong. But I think this is the era of graphics that I've kind of, that's the kind of wall I've hit, or the ceiling I've hit as far as like graphical. This is my low bar. Actually, my bar is a little lower than this game graphically. I could freaking today play a brand new game that looked like this, and I wouldn't bat an eye. I would not bash it for graphical fidelity. And again, I'm gonna keep what I've got already. I might actually get. I'm realizing I'm gonna be such a min-maxer right now. I'm gonna get rid of that because it's a weight. I don't even think weight is going to matter significantly at this point. This early in the game, you're not stressing about your weight limit. I think these hurt you too? No, I'm wrong. Happy to be wrong. Still don't know what's going on. Although I guess that could be... No, that's definitely like steam coming up. I thought it might be water spraying back up. Kind of splash zone deal. Got another fun thing that we can do. It's just one of the funnest ways to play this. We got good physics. This game's got decent physics going on. Not a lot of places to maximize it, but amazing method in this game is to just look at this. Look at what we've got in front of us. If you don't have a shield, and frankly, if you're on your own, you generally can be pretty screwed up by all this. Now, what's funny is what I just did didn't help me at all. It didn't help me at all. Wow, that was a horrible method. But I'm gonna go down the line here and just clean up later. Now we're getting smarter though. Killing these. Oh, a better windshield. Turns out. Dang. Still getting messed up. See, we're on easy mode. If you're not careful, you get tossed around. I'm gonna turn all these levers, pick up all this gold, be on our way. And we got a friend over there. Here's the thing. I'm not really interested in dealing with him right now. Not just yet. I'm gonna see where we're going this way can afford me a little more goodwill before I head back that way. I'll do it. I'll go back that way. Like I said, I like to be thorough, especially early in a game. I'll be honest. If a game is not too long, but longer, I definitely peter out on my thoroughness. Whoa. We've got the... I don't really see a physical difference in being jeweled, but at least we got a helmet. I think all that means, and this is a nice adage, I think the jewel just means that it's more expensive to sell. Which I'm always a fan of that being a thing in games. Just, this doesn't have any stat boosts, but it just is better. So we've got another bugbear. We're dealing with the bugbear either way. I might as well go back the way we came, because this is the correct direction to progress in the dungeon. So, oh, sorry about that. I'm actually... See, if you listen to the VODs, you'll get more back behind the scenes of the kind of guy that I am. I'll tell you what, I'm kind of a foul little goblin of a man, to be honest. Pretty poor etiquette when it comes to these sorts of things. Most of my early videos, I had to edit out an untold amount of disgusting mouth noises. And I actually still have pretty low microphone etiquette, but I'm working on it. As with everything I'm doing, I'm just taking it a little bit at a time. I'm going to equip the club, because I've literally never done that in this game, and it's a little more consistent damage-wise. A lower high, but a higher low, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if my eyes are, if I'm just getting old and my eyes are messing with me, or if it's always been this bad. I just don't remember the water. It looks really nice, obviously, but I just don't remember the creatures being lost in the water as much. Thankfully, this isn't exactly a hard game to navigate. And honestly, I don't know if you're an architecture guy, if you're an environment guy. I've grown into it. I'm growing more and more to appreciate environments as I've gotten older. But this, kind of awesome. But there's some good level design going on. At least it gives you a good feel that, like, things are bigger than they are. We'll take a walk around the actual city of Baldur's Gate in a minute. If you know it, not in a minute, it'll be a little bit, but cause there's a kind of a send-off point where you can walk around the city. I don't know if you're familiar at all with the actual Baldur's Gate, the city, it's not real, but the city in the video game, or the lore of Dungeons and Dragons, Forgotten Realms. But pretty big city, and unfortunately, I'm loving that sound, and I realized I already went that way. Solid jump animation, better than Oblivion's jump animation, which came later, so good on them for that. But yeah, the Baldur's Gate city itself, in this game, not very impressive. not anything to do. You don't travel around the city. Now, admittedly, that's part of the story. You're kind of, you know, we're the Midnight Marauders here. I would say the first whole act of this game takes place like midnight to 4 in the morning, if there was actually a time behind it. We're not seeing much action in the city. This doesn't feel as small or as large as it ought to. But I might be being too critical. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I'm gonna see which one's worth more. Yeah, that's worth less, so we'll wear that. And keep going. I might be too critical. I'm gonna hold off until I actually see it again to say what I think. You know what's funny? Just to be a self-commentary for a second. I love Let's Plays. Grew up watching plenty of Let's Plays. I was actually there for the very early Let's Play forums, like the original Let's Plays that were just screenshots, and people did text commentary of screenshots. I actually did one of Ace Attorney. It was. Yeah, I did one of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Gosh, it's probably 2005. So I was a wee lad. I would have been 10 years old. Early adapted to the Ace Attorney series, I was. But, so big fan of Let's Plays. I'm not the kind of guy that would enjoy watching one today, but this is one of those where one finger points out, 3 point back moments, because I'm realizing, as much as I'm enjoying this, and if you're watching the VOD later, I hope this is enjoyable. This is literally a Let's Play. I'm just doing a Let's Play. I imagine things will get more interesting when we get some friends pop in, or you are my friend as well. And when pops in, it'll get a little more interesting commentary wise. But I am realizing this is just a Let's Play, and I'm having fun with that. I hope you're having fun with that. Obviously, I missed the boat on Let's Plays. I don't think I'd be good at it. I certainly wouldn't have been good at it as a kid. I think talking has been my speech craft, if you want to oblivion it. It's sort of been a learned experience. If I was trying to make Let's Plays at the same time as Let's Plays were big, like really big, I would have been a mess. I would have been one of the guys that Retsu Prey, Slow Beef and Diabetes. I would have been one of the kids that they made fun of. I've actually I've met Slow Beef of Retsu Prey back in 2014 at a convention. I didn't know what he looked like. I just recognized his voice right away. He was playing he was playing Virtua Fighter on the Dreamcast with another guy, and they were both playing it with fishing rods, like the Sega Bass fishing game, Bass Championship game. That was a lot of fun. So I just walked in, I was like, dude, are you Slow Beef? He's like, yeah, but you can call me Mike. We're people. We're humans in the same building. He's a bit older than me, so he would have been in his 30s, I think, at that point. And he was literally just talking to their dude about work and their kids. It was a very pivotal moment for me, I'd say. It's just seeing he's got a giant rat, and I don't know if you know anything about giant rats, but I hear that this guy makes all the rules. He actually kind of messed me up, but we made it. I'm sick with it. Best in the game. Definitely don't check the difficulty setting that I have right now. As I was saying, meeting Slow Beef, if you know Retsu Prey, they were an OG, very, very early. Slow Beef actually, I believe, holds the title for one of the people that really pioneered the Let's Play tradition. I think both in screenshot and video format. And so I think that made him think that him and his friend Beatus kind of had a bit of say in being able to poke fun at people who were doing the format poorly in their mind. I loved it. I was, as a tween and teenager, watching some guys make fun of bad Let's Players was just a good time. I think if I saw that happen now, I would think very poorly of it, but, you're young. It's one thing. And we have another bugbear, which, I'll be honest, I couldn't tell you the difference between that guy and the others. Call me racist to bugbears. I'm very sorry about that. But we got our first boss battle. I feel woefully unprepared. Oh gosh. Wow! Hey, that's fun. We got obliterated. And how back the... Oh, hold on. I just lost, like, a small amount of progress. A small amount of progress. I'll tell you what. To be honest, I'll go back to the Retsuprey thing in a second. I'm a sore loser when it comes to losing progress in a game. If I lose more than 5 minutes of progress when I die, I genuinely consider, like, stopping. And I usually do. Like, when I'm playing on my own, I will usually stop to at least take a break. I might come back to it in the same session, but I really hate losing progress. I just think my time is too valuable. I don't know if you feel the same way. I know I'm playing on literal easy difficulty, and I've done my time. I played a Dark Soul. I've beaten all the Soulsborne games. Smashed my way through Sekiro. I could do the difficulty chops. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy playing a good difficult game. But that being said, as I've gotten older, certainly, my time has just gotten more valuable, and it's very frustrating to lose any amount of time. And I've learned my lesson. So I'm gonna save. I'm gonna whip this bugbear, and I'm gonna save again. And I got a lot of money, so I think I'm gonna go get a recall after this too. And, I actually don't know if I got different equipment this time. I'll find out. I did. Actual RNG confirmed in this game. Good job, guys. I'm saving again. And I want to recall. Spend some of my hard-earned money.
If you need something to split someone's skull, or a helm to protect your own, you'll come to the right place.
Also, frankly, a very convenient menu. Really snappy. I get very frustrated with games where you have to confirm every time that you want to sell something.
If quality and price are your chief concerns,
it's the little things
then
like
look
that,
no
bro.
farther. You'll find my shop has excellent weapons at reasonable prices.
He's not wrong.
Friend, I think the smell of the sewers has taken a liking to you. We have many fine deals. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a light mace. That's what that means.
Our shop carries the finest dwarven weapons, brought here all the way from the Sunset Mountains.
You know, I'm really realizing this in newness, but he's pretty quick on the dialogue. As in, he's happy to talk.
Axes, bows. We have
fast.
everything you need right here.
I'm trying to think of what I'm calling that. You know, whatever they set the loop to be for how often his dialogue goes off. Could be better. Now, the padded armor it definitely has an interesting look to it for the because I think actually this game does a generally good job of across the three characters. I'm sorry, I know you can't do that here. Of the armor looking more or less the same. I could be totally wrong. I'll be honest. I haven't played the female sorcerer. Not my cup of tea. But we've got some better equipment, and we can keep on rocking. But back to Red Spray. I think I had something more to say about that. Those were good times. Definitely got some good inside jokes with some friends who also enjoyed Red Spray. And meeting him at PAX East. That's where I was. PAX East 2014 in Boston. It definitely gave me more perspective. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, this is just a guy, you know? It's not even his job. He was just bullying people on the internet for the love of the game. And they have chilled out. I'm not even aware if Slurpees and Red Spray are still on the content train, but if they are, they're certainly not making that type of content anymore. And that's the first boss wrapped up. Easy business. This game has a increasing progression of how many points you get per level. Pretty nice. I actually am at a bit of a loss of what I want to go with. I want to go with 2 1 points for now. Oh, that is nice. You know what? Health and health regen are gonna be a win today. I like to stay sturdy. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely play more glass cannon in an RPG. Anything like this that gives me an option to pick if I'd rather deal damage or take damage. I'm a big fan of dealing damage. I don't like to go full glass cannon, I guess you could say. I'm thinking of, was it Demon Hunter from Diablo 3? I think that's my more extreme end of DPS. That's too far to me. Those guys, you get smashed in a second. They're squishy, as like the MOBA term is. Ethan, buddy.
Thank the gods you're here. Any longer, and I'd be sitting in some kobold's belly.
Oh wait, they are kobolds? I really
well, after I gave
thought
you
they
the
were
cellar door
goblins.
key, I felt guilty about letting you head down here without help. So,
Which again, I'm not beating the fantasy
no
racist
sooner do I get
allegations with
down
that
here
one.
than I'm surrounded
Definitely
by those yapping
falling into
kobold
they all look the
devils,
same
and they haul
category.
me to this cell and lock me in.
Yeah, how did you get down here?
There's an entrance to the sewers from the street, and I used that. I knew about it from my days when I was in the guild. The old guild, not the new one.
Right.
Retired. That life's behind me. Still, I've kept a bit of what I've learned, and it might help you now.
Well, guys, take notes. This gives me more credence to someone making a 14-hour video essay on Ethan from Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. You've got more to work with now. He used to be a thief.
I think it unlocks a gate deeper in the sewers. If you're still aiming to catch those thieves that robbed you, then you'll need it. While I was locked up here, I overheard some of the thieves from this new guild planning a mission. And that's what I heard. I don't know what that thief was carrying, but it can't have been good. If you want to stop whatever deviltry they've got planned, then you'll need to head deeper into the sewers and find that thief. All right then, I don't need to tell you to be careful.
I'm already thinking. My mind's stewing here. I'm writing the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance retrospective for you, viewer. You could make this video yourself. I'm writing it as I go, and I've got to say, it's short, but I really like. Sorry again. The little dynamic we've got here between the old Thieves Guild and the new Thieves Guild. They don't get into it. They don't get into it at all, beyond basically what we've just heard, and what we see of Ethan versus Karn will be the right representation of the, Oh, wait. Yes, we come back here later for that. I like the idea that, like, the old Thieves Guild, yeah, they're dudes robbing people. Like, they're not good people. But you have this contrast with, like, it seems like there's a newer guild of guys who are up to no good with how they're getting their success. So it seems like they're doing some sort of demonic business.
And there's not really a moral question here. Ethan's not saying like, well, we're the good guys, and these guys are more better, and we're actually honorable thieves, because that's kind of old hat. But I like the idea that there's, there could be two different thieves guild factions, which would be true in a city or a world as large as this. You'd have different groups of robbers going around doing their thing. But ideologically, they're at odds with each other in methods, and it's not played out in a very like generic fantasy morality way. It's just like, yeah, they do things a little differently, and they're pretty, they're kind of wacko. Well, that's just better all around. And I get a nice 100 gold for the, yeah, that's what the +1 or like any enhanced modified gear in this game has a different color palette. And I'll be honest, it's a very interesting choice to go with a green. But pretty neat. Like I was saying, this game kind of moves quick. We've only been at it for an hour, and we've gone from rats to bugbears. We just had a bugbear as a boss, and now we're getting them standard. That old boss to big enemy progression. Which, journal? No quests. I'd say I'm gonna keep pushing then. I was thinking about heading back to the... We'll keep... Oh, I want to keep going for a hot minute here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm interested in pushing forward before I take a step back and get some more equipment. Game's got a solid, tight gameplay loop here of when you feel like it's a good time to go back and get equipment. Gets you right back into the action. This game is really hard to beat if you're looking for a dozen hour or so experience. I think the second game is objectively is hard. They have very different feels. The second game does a lot more. It's flesh. It has more. You get more characters off the bat for one. They're a lot more fleshed out. Oh, these guys are absolutely brutal. That's funny. That's really funny. Immediately proven wrong. Again, the what you experienced as a child versus how it actually is. They hit hard though. I've died to them quite a few times as a kid. But to say on Baldur's Gate 2, if this happened, oh man, that's a big problem with this game. Is you don't have any recourse if you're getting ganked. You will be just physically stuck. This is realistic. I mean, one guy taking on this whole business on his own, it really would be his fate. That's probably what happened to Ethan, man. Ethan got ganked by 7 kobolds at once, and then they locked him in the cell. Again, they go back to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Did a lot well. An objectively better game, I would say, but it's a lot longer. You can get you could have a 30, 40 hour slog in a playthrough. And I don't want to say slog. I want to say slog carefully. You have a lot of content options, and it is a lot of fun. It's a very fun game. Again, a lot of gameplay mechanics and improvements, and you can enchant your own weapons. That's a huge improvement. But it's a lot more of an endeavor to want to play, to be honest. I'd rather... I picked this game up, even though it's a lot more simple. I picked up Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1, quite a few more times than I have the second one, just because it's a lot more manageable. I don't feel as
impossible to get through a playthrough. I'm getting rid of those. I can't do much with those. Also, big fan of no equipment, like durability degradation. What's funny is that quite a few of my favorite games do have equipment degradation. But it's not one of my favorite mechanics. I'm happy to work with it. I think Oblivion does it very well, and I'll tell you why. everyone listening, gather around. All 8,000 of you listen up. I really appreciate that Oblivion has the opportunity, instead of having like a full crafting and smithing mechanic, you just have the repair mechanic. And if you get good enough repair, you learn the ability to repair over. That guy made some amazing sounds. But your equipment can go from 100% durability to 125%. And when you go over the 100% threshold, it still just does the math, and you just get better, stronger equipment. I think that's a great way of doing it. I'm just saying, these guys are brutal. They hit hard. They're one of the hardest hitters in the early game. We have a great selection of equipment here. And I'm coming up on wanting to recall. But I'll wait as long as humanly possible. Human, reference, human archer reference. So I wanna milk it, you know, and we're gonna save. Lesson learned. If you were here earlier, I got obliterated for not freaking saving. And I'm learning every day. Again, not seeing any jewels. Seeing 0 jewels on the jewel padded gloves. But, now these guys have like a shotgun deal going on. You know what I'm saying? You get close enough to where you, like that, and you get all of them at once. It's a really bad day for you. And once again, I just have to ask, just what's going on upstairs? You know, what is immediately above this sewer is firing at a very strange interval, piping hot steam through the sewer ducts. I just don't know. I'm not an infrastructure guy. If we got any environmental engineers in the audience, feel free to leave a comment, send me an email about how accurate that is. There's that Any Austin guy. He does videos on, I think he just did one on Starfield's pipes. Look at that guy on the case. And I want a real answer, you know? I want some hard pounding gonzo journalism. I don't want this, oh, it's just a video game answer. I want a real scientific solution to this pipe business. I'm a concerned citizen of Baldur's Gate. I just really want to know. I'm thinking it's time to recall. Now, recalling with the potions does seem like it could get stressful if you're a frequent visitor to the tavern.
You come to the right place.
But I'd say if you're a little more conservative,
if quality
I mean, I have 6, you know. That means if
you'll find my shop has
sorry if the cash sound is obnoxious. I haven't checked the audio levels. Just a little bit of the potions. I'd say you have to be pretty funny with it to run out of recall potions.
I think the smell of the sewers has taken a liking
So,
to you.
interesting mechanic.
We have many fine deals.
You have to ask the question of why have it at all if they're just going to give you more than you need.
Brought here all the way from the Sunset Mountains.
It's nice to not have to worry about running out. We're a little short on getting a better weapon.
Swords, axes, bows. We have everything you need
but
right
I do want to
here.
get a better shield. I'm in for the shield.
If you need something to split someone's skull, or a helm to protect
And I'm
your
actually in for the armor. So we're gonna palette swap this really just illustrious. That actually looks better. It does look better. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling that more. That's got, interestingly enough, I don't even think they changed the model. Hardly at all. But we've gone from, I don't know what to call that, to, very much a gladiator kind of look. Maybe that's what the padded armor was already going for, but it's much easier to see.
Thanks. Did you find...
Well, I forgot all about that. I'm glad I checked. I did not remember that would be a reward. Handy. This does run classic D&D style, where you're you're not getting an improvement on your stats, and that's every two. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that's how it goes.
Well met, friend.
These
It's
are,
good to see a
our
new
side
face
quest
in the Elf
gang.
Song. Please have a seat, share a drink.
Yeah.
My name's Ipswich. And what brings you to Baldur's Gate?
Good name, honestly. This guy's still whining about losing his money to the thieves. I'm telling you, we have to have already made more money back than he had when he walked in.
My heart goes out to you.
There's no way.
It seems Baldur's Gate has not been treating its visitors well of late. I, too, am a stranger here.
I actually don't remember what he's doing
I came
here.
to pay my respects at the Shrine of Suffering, the local temple run by the priests of Ilmater. But I came to find the temple sealed, and no one answered my summons. I had a terrible feeling that something was wrong inside, but I did
Any
not know
lore
what.
guys in the audience might know about Ilmater? I have no idea who that is.
My brother's bones lie within the crypts beneath the shrine.
Oh, yeah.
It was always his
He wants his
intention that it be
medallion.
passed on through our family, and now that I have a
Very
little one of my
manageable.
own, I wish my child to have the medallion.
Oh.
But now I
Good for him.
do not know what to do, so I sit here, drink, and wait for the shrine to awake.
Yeah, man. If I find my way down there, I'll get your thing. I will say, good for Ipswich. I would probably meter him at 50s, mid 50s. So if he really has like a,
Please, leave me be.
all right, well, she said so. I don't want to be the guy that is annoying a woman at a bar, chatting her up. I know this is medieval times or what have you, but I don't know.
I think the smell of the
I'd
sewers...
like to think I'm better than that. Alright, back to biz. So I'm concerned with going this way now. But yeah, oh, I was saying good for Ipswich if he's mid-50s and just had a child. That strikes me as very uncommon. Even if we're going, not that Baldur's Gate or Forgotten Realms really is working off of historical medieval rules, but I'd say it's fairly uncommon to meet someone in your 50s and have a child. So he seems pretty happy to have someone to continue his legacy. I'm realizing that these guys, blocking is horribly ineffective against these guys, even though I made a whole hum and ha earlier about how blocking always works. I'm wrong again. So there is, it's hard to tell. You actually wouldn't be able to tell at all, but with the button mashing, the attack button, you do run into a bit of a problem with, it's a bit of a over committal. So if I really do just hit, oh, it's not going to work because I'm not actively in front of a monster. But if I overcommit and I'm mashing that button 4 times, it's going off 4 times. I don't care what they call that. It's like, you know, they cued the input. So you can be really quick with it and get a good block in like that. But you don't get to do both. You can't mash a button combo and then try to block, because that input cue just kind of goes. I don't know the proper phrasing for that, but that's what's going on there. Well, that's more fun, but it's more expensive. So being the really hardcore maxer that I truly am playing this game on easy difficulty, I'm just gonna keep it where it's at for that. I already pushed that. I'll be honest, can't say I know where that goes, but at least early on, I would say the first 2 or 3 acts of this game do a pretty good job of making sure you don't get lost. So they have a pretty good way of funneling you in the right direction. Like, actually, we're supposed to be right here. So I've done everything but the middle gate. Classic 2003 non-linear progression. I hope I'm not wrong. I keep saying 2003. I think I've said it a few times. Definitely could be wrong on that. I can't tell if I'm actually doing much better damage-wise against those guys. They hit hard, though. I'll probably stop the bunny hopping. I used to, I don't know if anyone here is, or anyone listening on the VOD later has played Gary's mod, but, big fan of Gary's mod back in the day. Huge fan of Dark RP, and I loved bunny hopping. It was a test on whatever server I went to how serious the police were at moderating bunny hopping. There was a more hardcore City 13 roleplay where I remember any time I went on that server, you would literally get stopped, arrested, and beat if you were bunny hopping. You got one warning, and then they were off. And they had this is pretty well coded. They had the voice. They could operate the combined voice clips. So you hear shoulda, no bunny hopping. Little top of the line voice acting for you. Only on the stream, guys. Only on the stream do I give you the top quality voice acting. Either Dark RP. I would say Golden Age is Gary's mod, but frankly, it seems like that game is still doing really well. Wow. I've played this game a million times, and some things I just don't know how I get through. Thankfully, we got a ton of health potions, and if we direction this proper, if I position myself okay, then I don't have to sweat too. I'm still getting messed up though. I gotta try to position myself okay. And we made it through the worst of it. That was us, guys. Us as a team, we did that. Yeah, it seems like Gary's mod's still doing really well though, which is awesome. I'm not gonna get to the meme stuff of it, the skibbity, what have you, but it just seemed like the game itself still has a significant amount of popularity. So to say Golden Age seems wrong, because the kids these days still have it fine. Gary's mod, absolute gold mine of a game. Definitely seems like one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it situations. Obviously, Roblox is a very serious competitor to Gary's mod, and has won out in a lot of ways. But it's good to see that kids are just really happy with an actual sandbox. I know sandbox actually comes from the literal term of sandbox, like kids playing around. But obviously some cultural things change, and we can say, kids on their phone these days. It seems like kids in the past 2 generations, and mine own included, we're just happy to have a cool game that lets you do a lot with it. Like a lot, and it doesn't, who cares how it looks. Roblox, and again, I'm not an art critic here, but man, that game looks ironically incredible. That game looks absolutely interesting perpetually. It doesn't matter. Like, if the game gives you that much freedom, then graphical fidelity is absolutely worth sacrificing. There's some pretty good games that have come out of late that have, very earlier graphical styles, and it's an absolute wonder. Oh, we've made it all the way back to the beginning. So that means we're good. I'm gonna stop jumping, I swear. Gotta behave. That sound is probably horrendous to the viewer. Apologies for that. It's been nice to see, though, to go back to it. I hope you've seen that I'm like a king of rambling, but also returning to points that I want to thread back to. That people are willing to sacrifice graphical fidelity for just good gameplay and content. I really think it's kind of on a slider. Like, there's only so much you can do in a game if you're building it from the ground up, if it relies, like, on a ton of assets. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to, like, really see the gradient, like, or the spectrum, like, text-based RPGs you have infinite freedom. Or even more than before. Let's take a step back. The game that we're playing is based off of Dungeons & Dragons. You quite literally have infinite freedom because it's just a bunch of people sitting around a table. You can dream up whatever you want that story to look like. But, the more graphical assets you add to that game, the less freedom seems likely. So, I'm very much in favor of a lot more games these days, and they're more on the indie side, which is a win for them as well. That was a surprisingly long walk.
Have you done as I asked, Khan?
Whoa.
Yes, my Lord Xantum. I sent one of my best men
This is
to
our
the
guy
crypts in the
Xantum.
temple, as you instructed.
The orb must be placed within the Chamber of Ashes within the crypts. If your man fails to do this,
I want to go back to my thread on the Thieves Guild in a second with this point.
Yes, my lord.
That was a little while
He
ago,
knows your
but
wishes,
I want to
and
finish
he
that.
will not fail you.
But to say, I'm
Very
happy
well.
to see.
bring me the prisoner you found in the sewers.
So I'm okay with what you would call bad graphics. Like I said earlier, this game graphically,
My lord,
I'd play it
sent
today.
for the
I'm playing it
prisoners some
today.
time
I'm playing it
ago,
right
but I
now.
have received no word from
If
the bugbears.
that
in the
level of
sewers.
graphics gives me
Send
a
your
ton
men
that I
into
can
the
do in the
sewers.
game as a
Find out what has
character,
happened to our soldiers
I'm
and
over the
bring me
moon
the
with that.
prisoner. Do
and I
not
hope
fail
developers
me in this,
understand that. I hope
Khan.
developers see
Yes,
that
my lord.
people
Should
these days
I
are a
recall
lot
the man I sent
happier
to the
with
temple?
good art
No.
style.
If he
Doesn't mean the
places
game has to
orb
look
as
bad on
instructed,
purpose.
He will not be coming
As long as it's in the
back.
merit of
Tell your men to avoid the
giving the developers a lot more
temple
time.
grounds. To enter it now is
My
certain
microphone
death.
popped out. Sounds like gives developers more freedom to do more with the game, which allows us to do more with the game. Big fan of that. But now we're in the crypt, man. Like I said earlier, Act 1 does have a very, classic fantasy RPG thread of the kind of guys you're fighting. But I really do think the game opens up significantly after that. Acts 2, 3, and 4 have some really interesting guys. I would say I actually really love this first act. I think it's done very, very well. I mean, don't ask the bigger question of the sewer connecting to the crypt. Because who cares? It's fun. It's cool. And when I get to my next save point, I'm going to... Do I have to go back up? I don't really have much to go back up for. Yeah, we'll just keep pushing.
little more physics to have fun with. Oh yeah, buddy.
What are you doing
Fayed.
here? Run now, before it changes you! I am Fayed, a priest of Ilmater. I tend the crypts and perform burial rites
that's
here at the
Ilmater.
Shrine of
Okay.
Suffering. Now,
So this is my
now
question
I fear
familiar.
that I
I'm
shall
guessing
be the
Ilmater's
next one to be changed.
your classic good deity.
Into the Walking Dead! Haven't you seen them? They're everywhere!
That's trademark, pal. I'd be careful with that.
My fellow brothers and sisters of the temple, all dead. I was taking an urn of ashes to one of the crypts when I discovered a strange set of tracks leading downwards. When I followed them, I found that thing, that foul orb, and the dead
I'm sorry.
arose around
I'm just
me.
impressed that this guy gets a whole
Vile
soliloquy.
skeletons, zombies, unholy ground. I acted quickly, sealing this level off from the level below.
If you're
then
watching
barricaded
now, or
myself
if you're
in this
watching the
room.
VOD
I had hoped
later-
sealing off this level would prevent the dead from reaching here. I was wrong.
Sorry, I wanted him to finish before I said anything. I want you to let me know if that was good voice
We
acting.
priests of Ilmater set up some non-lethal traps here in the crypts.
I've
to capture
learned
grave robbers.
through my
The
days,
trap that sealed
I have
off
a
the
very
exits is
low
triggered by
bar
three
when
urns
it
on
comes
this
to,
level.
and I
They're
apologize,
coming
I am
from
going to
below,
skip some of this.
From that
He
thing in the
talks
chamber
so
of ashes.
long.
No,
which is cool.
My place is here. I don't know. They lead to
We're
the level
gonna
below.
skip. I'm being a
That
little
was when I
impatient, I
noticed a
apologize.
foul-smelling mist emanating from the
But I
chamber
found I
of
have a very
ashes.
low bar for
When I
voice
entered the
acting.
chamber, there it was, a swirling gray orb surrounding. No, my place is here. I should help you, not run from this. If I can help you, I will.
So by help, he does mean, and I'm not ragging, he does mean help in a way an NPC helps you in a video game, which is that they don't really do anything. But he'll be back later for a cutscene or two. Oh, he does.
Of course. Let the power of
I'm immediately eating my own words again. Once again, I'm amazing at that. I'm amazing at getting myself blown up. So he can heal you. That's fantastic, actually. It's funny that I said he does nothing, because I definitely remember coming back to him as a kid and healing a bunch. I'm going to recall. Why not? Spend some gold. You let my It Switch buddy
it's
know
good to-
that
It was always
I'm
his
only skipping because I already told him, already talked to him.
Please.
Alright, listen.
I've been waiting for someone, but I fear I wait in vain.
I know earlier I said I wasn't going to bother this lady, but I think she does have a quest
My
for us.
man, Kissin, had just gone
And
on
she-
an expedition into the north to a place called Battle of the Bones, where the dead still walk.
And the lady's spoken for, so I'm just a concerned citizen.
Yeah.
We're not harassing
I
a
spoke
poor
to him about
poor
the
stranger in the bar.
expedition, However,
Vaughn's a
he
good guy,
acted
right?
strangely,
Vaughn's the
almost
human archer.
dazed, as if he'd
He's
been
not a frat
hypnotized or
guy, okay?
charmed. He was obsessed with finding this orb for his new employer.
Although, who's to say? Vaughn actually does look like exactly the kind of guy who would have been in, like, Alpha, Beta, Phi.
We had agreed to
in
meet
college.
here in the Elf Song should anything
But-
happen.
We don't judge.
But it's been almost 3 nights now, and I have seen no sign of him. I fear for the worst.
Yeah.
I fear that the orb he recovered may have done something horrible to him.
Oh. So I know a little more than
I
you
can't
do
do
at
that
this
here.
point. I'm sorry, he can't do that here. I know about the orb.
We have many fine deals. What are you looking for?
The orb is unfortunately the
Our
source
shop
of the
carries finest
woes.
dwarven weapons, brought here all the way from the Sunset Mountains.
The source of the woes in the crypt and the Dead Rising. Dead Rising, great game.
Swords, axes, bows. We have everything.
Yeah, I've never had anyone tell me that that Bartley's annoying. I seem to like him as a character more in the second game, but I didn't realize just how quickly he talks, man. I could see that bothering somebody, and I kind of wouldn't be able to blame them for that. Although I still will always be fond of my
grody old man. Just trying to make a quick buck as a merchant. An honest merchant. Probably. I don't know where he gets his stuff. I could ask. But yeah, unfortunately, I already know where her man is, and if he's the guy who got the orb, we're seeing what the orb has done firsthand. Unfortunately, it's not good news. So this was back in, I think 2023, this game got, not remastered, but ported up to the PlayStation 4, technically. I think this is technically to the PlayStation 5, by Black Isle. And Black Isle has obviously kind of slowed down as a developer. They're responsible for a lot of earlier fantastic games. But now they're just doing sorts of stuff like this. I'm very excited to see if they'd ever do Champions of Norath, which was an RPG very much in the same style as this game, same engine as this game. This was called the Snowfrost engine? Something of the sort. To my knowledge, 4 games were released on this engine. And that was this game, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the sequel, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, as well as Fallout Extreme Brotherhood of Steel. So that was the Xbox Fallout game. And if you've played or seen footage of that, you're probably seeing the resemblance to this game. It's very, very stark. So yeah, Dark Alliance 1, 2, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and Champions of Norath were all made on this engine. Champions of Norath was also a licensed game. So funny enough, all 4 games made for this engine were licensed. And that one was licensed by EverQuest, actually. So it's an EverQuest game. Very cool. And frankly, I've played it the least of the 4 games on the engine. But it very well might be the most, the highest quality game made on the engine. At least that's what a lot of people say. Enough people say that I'll take their word for it, critique-wise. So, that's always been a point of discussion. Almost immediately when they announced these ports. And again, I think they did a very good job with resolution. No bugs. This game just works out the box. But it's been 2 years. I'd have to look up the news of it myself. I'm not certain if a Champions of Norath port is in the cards, which is very unfortunate. It's a very well-loved game. And we've got a level up. And we're going right to strength, because we will get 1 more attack and 1 more damage, and that's kind of an obvious win right now. Now that we have 3, I'm actually kind of torn on what I would increase for 1. Again, that's very cool. You get a passive boost to arrow damage. Just not in the business of doing archery in this game, unfortunately. It's just not for me. I'll go critical. It'd be nice to have some critical damage coming in. It could be a big win. Because before the re-release, this game did not have a native PC port. So now there is one. It's fantastic. And with any PC port, there's always a question of modability. There's one project, actually while this was still just on the PlayStation 2, there's one modding project done by by somebody, and it actually looked fairly promising. They were able to add some new assets and switch some numbers around mechanically. I mean, this is one of those games where any new content is a huge win. But unfortunately, he gave up pretty quickly. And it didn't seem to be for reasons related to the actual modding, which is very unfortunate. So, any aspiring modders who know their way around code, I imagine that's a very code-heavy endeavor. I think there would be a lot of people who would be very happy with mods for this game. So I think what this game does it, I think it does very well, and it's well worth the effort to mod. I'm actually surprised this game didn't, I guess, pop off as much as it did once it was re-released. I just think this game is utterly fantastic. And again, it's a very small scope game, but what they did with everything they had is just so fantastic. I did remember my thread on Xantum and the Thieves Guild, the beholder we saw earlier, big old one-eye guy with the nasty tentacles coming out his head. Oh, I don't know if we actually saw him. Sorry, that might be a spoiler, everybody. But my thought on that is, I think it's we got a very interesting dynamic going on in the new Thieves Guild, sort of our adversaries for Act 1. Obviously, we're going to find out there's a larger plot at stake here, but most of the guys... we've got our medallion. Switch will be happy. It's a very interesting dynamic going on here with the new Thieves Guild. So you've got a Thieves Guild run essentially by this giant eldritch being. Eldritch is kind of a stretch. A big monster. A big monster's running this guild. He's the large and in charge magical creature. And he clearly doesn't actually have any interest in the affairs of running a Thieves Guild. But it seems to me that they are really a Thieves Guild. I mean, we were robbed just for the sake of being robbed. We're not some important character. We're not like a forsworn, foretold, like heroic prophet of a hero, right? We're just a guy trying to get our money back. So they really are just doing regular thieves business, but they just happen to be led by a very powerful monster. Now maybe that's common hat in fantasy and Dungeons & Dragons to secretly have the leader of the group be a big bad monster. But I like it. I think it's interesting. I like that it doesn't really that thread doesn't go anywhere. I don't think it has to go anywhere. I think if your leader just has magical capabilities beyond your own, kind of scratch your back, you scratch theirs kind of deal. Seems like everyone's happy with the dynamic of that. But I think it's interesting. And it makes me think of the Thieves Guild and Old Thieves Guild traits that they're having, is that would be enough to be off-putting to the Old Thieves Guild. And again, we're not talking like ethics or morality, really. I don't think the Old Thieves Guild is virtue signaling. But they're like, hey, there's this new Thieves Guild on the town, and there's a giant demon in charge of them. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm out. I think I am happy with my regular thievery business and not being beholden to a demonic monster. But you do you. I'm gonna enjoy some water real quick. Absolutely. Delightful. Hopping again. I knocked it off. That combine guy's gonna... He's gonna come back from the Gary's Mod grave and bullying me for bunny hopping in this game. I'm actually a little bit at a loss. I hope that's not completely unbearable to listen to. I turned down the sound effects, and that's pretty awful. Jeez. Just you can see, this game is not afraid to throw a bunch of enemies at you. Now, admittedly, I don't know if there's any balancing from 1 to 4 players. So you can play this game with the 4 players. Oh wait, that might not be true. 2 players. This game is 2 players. I think Baldur's Gate 2 might be 4 players, local co-op. But they're not afraid to throw a bunch of enemies at you. Obviously, if you have a second guy, a lot more manageable. But as you've seen, even going solo, it's not so bad. And now we have access to the town up there. And I want to go look around for a minute, because I just want to show you guys what we got going on up there. Now we have a little puzzle here. I'll actually come back to the puzzle. As you can probably see the gold urn, the silver urn, and there's the copper? I would say copper. I wouldn't call that bronze. Anyway, I'm gonna go up to the town for a minute. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what we got going on here. That still sounds so loud to me, guys. I'm gonna turn that down and hope it's not unbearable. I also don't know how loud I am in the audio. Now, I'm gonna do a little mosey around here and show you what we got going on. And I'll tell you what I like about it so much is that this is entirely optional. There's no point. See, here's the Elfsong Tavern. Absolutely no point in Act 1 do you need to come up here. There's nothing to be gained. There's no extra content. There's no side quests. It's just a second way of navigating yourself around the city. You can see right here, we can actually go back to the sewers if we wanted to. But I really, really like what they have going on here. They didn't have to do this. It does make Baldur's Gate the city, if you know anything about it. It makes it seem smaller than it ought to be. And that's just game limitation. This game obviously had a smaller budget. It's a tight kind of game. But I really, really enjoy this. I just think there's something to it, you know?
I can't do that here.
I can't do that here. You're right, Vaughn. You shouldn't do that here. You shouldn't try to hurt anybody. Yeah, like I said, nothing to be done here. No extra sights to see. No extra monsters. No quests or items. Just atmosphere and environment. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Really, really brings some life to the game.
If you need something to split someone's skull, or a helm to protect your own, you've come to the right place.
Oh, have I? Oh, I'm always in favor of using an upgrade rather than getting rid of it or having to buy it.
If quality and price are your chief concerns, then look no farther. You'll find my shop has excellent weapons at reasonable prices.
Funny enough, we are getting close to hitting a wall as far as equipment goes in the first act. And that's a great place to be.
Friend, I think the smell of the sewers has taken a liking to you.
It's funny enough, I still think the light mace, and I don't know about you, but as a kid, I always thought it was Lieutenant Mace. I was like, I don't know why they call it Lieutenant Mace.
Deals. What are you looking for?
It is light
Our
mace.
shop carries the finest dwarven...
Alright. Thanks, Bartley. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'd say I'm good on the equipment department.
It's good to see you again, friend. How fares your travels?
Hey, we're doing good. Doing good, buddy.
Why, yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, big win for us.
Thank you,
What was
friend.
his medallion?
Thank you. I feared I would have to leave Baldur.
Oh, sorry about that. Wrong button, frankly. But we made Switch happy, and he gave us a mace. So Baldur's Gate 2 had an option where you can hit the tab and you can see a little bit more about whatever the heck that means. I am going to go for it because I think... base attack. You know what? It's fun. It's fun to have the glowing weapon. We're just going to go with it.
Swords,
Sell the
axes,
old one.
bow.
I hope you agree. Technically a slight downgrade, but
can't
it
do
does
that
come with
here.
an enchantment that I wish I knew what it did. Unfortunately, the early game, or the first game, doesn't have the tab description. We're back to the sewers. I'm going to do the puzzle in just a second. I'm just going to fix something really quick, technically. And we're golden. Actually, hold on. I just said we were good. I just said we were fine. I'm going to check one last thing. I'm going to check something about the audio before I get back to it. That'll just take one second. Alright, everything's good. Sorry about that. We're good to go. Let's do this really grueling puzzle. And that's a joke, I promise. So this isn't, this was cool to figure out as a kid. There's nothing... This is not a telegraph puzzle. You have to slide these urns onto the appropriate tiles. I believe it's an order of quality, essentially. You know, copper, silver, gold. And that's all there is to it. It's really simple. You also get a nice audio, so listen to this. Absolutely nothing, right? And then a little click when you know you did the right thing. So, can't beat that. Super simple, 10-second puzzle. And we're on our way to the next level of the crypts. And I do think if this is the right weapon, we might see something very interesting happen. What? And it is. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so this mace has a... I believe it's on a critical hit. You just Thanos snap the enemy. And as you saw there, we got guys coming out the... guys coming out the freaking ground here. Pretty cool. Pretty ominous. Yeah. Pretty satisfying. I don't think we're struggling in the damage department, so I'm fine with trading for a bit of a better attack chance and the sick effect. This is one of those games that very early on, I guess, turned me on, I guess you would say, to how cool enchanted weaponry can get. Just having a sick, glowy sword. I know that's not really commonplace these days, I would say. I see a lot of RPGs aren't concerned with giving you like a giant, glowing, fiery weapon. That's very old school fantasy. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, the Oblivion remaster actually has done a fantastic job of adding that to some weapons. As enchanted weapons give you some really cool looking effects. Elven worn leather gloves. So I think what we have here is a funny instance of... Yeah, so I think Elven would have made the boots better, and then worn makes them worse. So you're back to square one, essentially. If I'm right, elven leather boots would have brought the armor up to 2. But also see that the weight is different, so it very well could have been a weight thing as well. Yeah, this game does a very good job of giving you cool-looking equipment very quickly. Realistically, you don't have a lot of equipment in this game. I'd say there's less than 100 weapons. What they do is they do a very, very good job of having creative, I'm trying to think of the word, enhancements and enchantments to those weapons and armor to boost up the variety. And there's probably only 7 armor types, but because you get +1 and you get enchantments, they start rolling out the armor a little bit slower in the later levels. It just really works. They did a lot with a little in this game. You know, an RPG with only 7 types of armor would have been a hard sell, but realistically, with how +1 and +2 works, and you'll get like +3 before you even move on to the next armor set in the later levels. Very good job of kind of balancing and stretching out the content that they have. We won't get to it by any means. If I end up streaming this again, and I think what I will do is I'll probably end up streaming a full playthrough of this game throughout the next few Sundays. That seems the most obvious thing to do. And a lot of fun. Maybe I'll even save my opinion of Act 4 for when we actually get there. But to keep it a little short teaser for you, Act 4 is extremely generous with equipment. Extremely generous. It's a loot mob. And that's just an absolute joy. I'd like to say we've had a decent stream of equipment going on already. But it gets pretty awesome in the later parts of the game. So I mentioned magic way in the beginning, very early. Got magic here on the tab. Obviously haven't bought any skills yet. So buying, by that I mean you use skill points to get spells, and you know, obviously if I get some viewer or commenter input on this VOD or on the stream later, I'm happy to give some of the spells a try. But I hope this isn't annoying. Gameplay wise, you're seeing it. This is a button masher. I mean, you get, even your spells end up being button mashers. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might get a few different spells, but you're still just tapping that button away. So if the combat is already seeming stale to you, unfortunately, that's where it lies. And I think I just got a pretty significant... Yeah, that's actually a pretty darn good damage increase. Alright, yep. We're about to be rolling, man. But I don't know if it translates well to the video, you know, while watching it as opposed to playing it. It's something very simple and satisfying about it. Just beating on some dudes. You know, a little block in there and a little smacking around. Especially with the new weapon we just got. I mean, there's a bit of an improvement there. Damage-wise, that's even more satisfying. Yeah, simple and clean. Which is the way that you're making me feel tonight. Yeah, I got it. I got Kingdom Hearts unlock. I got Kingdom Hearts in the Rolodex. Always spinning. I'm sorry. It is very funny that someone stopped watching as soon as I said that. Someone said Kingdom Hearts. I'm out. That's it. I'm done. I'm sure that was just great time. We're having fun here. I have been thinking, I'm just having fun. I want you to know that if you're watching this back on the VOD, or you're watching this months later, you know, I'm having a lot of fun with the channel right now and just making videos. There is a thought in the back of my mind. I'd love to hear someone's input on this. I think I'm really not a YouTube Shorts guy. I don't foresee myself making many YouTube Shorts, if any. But it also makes sense to me to maybe sit down for a little bit, a few days from now, and just turn some stream VOD moments into clips. But I don't know. I don't want to go down that route, because I also don't want... I wouldn't want a viewer on Shorts, their expectation for this channel to be that I'm a real full-time streamer, you know? I'm happy to stream on Sundays. That's the plan going forward, but I don't, I guess I'm just worried about giving the wrong impression with people. That's really my main concern. Got some nice boots. Do they really significant? No, that's really good. Yeah, that's a good boost, that, man. I'm happy with that. But I also reckon I shouldn't overthink it. My thought is that I would just be concerned with making shorts to get more people to watching the main stuff, because that's what I really care about. I like making the 2 videos a week and seeing what people say, and I'd like to think that I'm being... Oh, we got the orb. I'm gonna step back for a second then. I think I sequence broke by hopping around. I'm gonna come back around and fix that. I'd like to think my videos at least get people thinking and talking in the comments, which has been really, really enjoyable. Seeing what people have to say. Which is what I was hoping for in the first place. And if it draws more people to watching the videos and talking about them, that's really what I'm all about. I don't know whether it's in a cutscene, but that's our guy. Or that's the ladies' man that's up there. Maybe the cutscene plays afterwards. Anyway, here's the second boss. Which, yeah, he's a hoot and a half, huh? So we got, I don't know what to call it. Basically classic or southerner mob boss, you know. Not mob boss like, hey, Tony. But, you know, a guy that just summons a bunch of enemies and then dips out for a second. But, unfortunately, we already smoked them. And that's how we do it here on the channel. Oh, there's the cutscene that I was looking for. Hey, very sorry, my friend. And there's Fayed. Fayed's back. Yeah, so it looks like
You've done it. I feared that we were lost. Oh, Ilmater has truly sent you to us in our darkest hour. Where did this foul orb come from?
So those are the thieves brought it down here.
Someone did this horrid act on purpose? All those deaths. Who would wish us such harm?
Oh,
This
if I
is
had to
grave
guess, it's the big
news.
old Uggo monster.
I appreciate all you have done for us. Please, accept this as a small token of our temple's thanks. I will consult with our remaining priests and see if they can determine who was behind this evil act.
So we gotta connect. He's gonna get to the Illmatter network. He's gonna post it on the r/Illmatter subreddit later, and see if anyone knows anything about a evil orb. So I want that's a good question. What do I want? Not just right now, just in general, you know? Deflect missiles. Oh. Let's get some more equipment. Wait, that's a big win. And I'm going more crit chance. Seems like a really good option. So now we can go up and see our friend. Unfortunately, we have bad news for her. Her man is gone. He's no longer with us. It seems like he got petrified when let me put the orb down. Is that also an upgrade? Habib. So that is a little bit of an inconvenient thing with the equipment. Is it creates kind of a weird order in the inventory. And there's a guy. There's a guy. We're gonna talk to the guy in a second.
I heard about what you did at the temple. It's good to see my weapons and armor being put to good use.
I do like that. That's a nice thing to have there. Is
my weapons should prove useful.
A progression
if you across any more of the Walking Dead
dialogue. See, like that's all good fun. I'm gonna test it out real quick. I want to see what's better. It gives us 37 armor. And this gives us... We have 36 armor. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer. Does our attack go down? No. Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer. So we get a little more armor.
We have many fine deals. What are you looking for?
Which, if you haven't been able to tell...
Our shop carries the finest dwarven
my
weapons,
wager is
here
that...
all the way from the Sunset Mountains.
Armor has to work differently than it normally does. In Dungeons and Dragons, because I do not think at level 5 I have an armor class at 37. If you know anything about armor class in tabletop, it has to be different. It has to be. I would guess it's damage reduction.
Please, leave me be. I want no trouble.
Well, I got bad news. I got more trouble for you.
In my heart, I knew. Thank you, stranger. He gave me this to hold for him until we were together again. But I have no use for it now.
I hope it's a gun. Oh, well, I guess it works too. He gave me a memento to remember him by. A freaking gun. I think it is 38 armor. We're good. We're in now. Ethan, who's your friend?
Friend, I have someone who wants to meet you. My associate, Jarek here.
Jarek.
He wanted some words with you. Don't worry, he can be trusted. We work together, him and I.
I want you to... it's just fun. In the actual written dialogue, he seems so nervous. I want to meet you, my friend here. We work together. They're kissing on the side. They're kissing. This is boyfriend.
Well met, adventurer. Ethan has told me of how you rescued him in the sewers, and I have already heard of your bravery in the Shrine of Suffering. I decided that I would see this hero for myself. I am not disappointed.
Oh.
I hope you shall not disappoint me. Your actions in the temple showed great courage and sacrifice, a willingness to risk your life to protect others.
Oh, hold on.
Quality. Ethan and I are members of the Harpers, a group whose members have dedicated their lives to the safety of the realms.
Well, that's a heck of a face turn.
I invite you to join us. We seek men and women of courage to band with us to protect the realms when the realms cannot protect itself. As a Harper, you will have our support, We will do what we can to help you in the realms. Excellent. There's no time to waste.
Yeah, we're in,
You
I
need to
guess.
perform a task
Yeah, the Harpers are the good guys in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. There's no other way to put it, I guess. They're more nuanced than that, maybe. But, yeah.
It was intended to sow chaos.
Defenders
to
of the
city
realm.
watch in order to allow another group to operate freely. The dead man you found in the room with the orb was a thief. He was a member of a thieves' guild, a new guild that has appeared in Baldur's Gate. This guild follows the symbol of a bloody eye, and they left their mark on the bodies of 2 city watchmen murdered several days. That may be asking too much.
Oh, I couldn't possibly take down the thieves' guild. I certainly won't do it in the next hour or two. I think we're about halfway through Act 1 already. I'm kind of happy to just go through Act 1.
I wouldn't spend too much. Surely you've heard of the thieves plaguing Baldur's Gate? Well, one of them
hey, we got another
caravan I was guarding while we were less than a league from Baldur's Gate.
We have another lady that will return in Baldur's
They came
Gate
upon
2.
us in the night.
Sorry, Dark Alliance 2.
Slaughtered several guards and made off with most of the caravan's goods, including a box of rare spices from
Just got some hot spices taken.
I was hoping that I could track down the thieves and set the matter right by at least recovering the box of spices.
I've actually got great news for you.
I fear that you'll have as little luck as I
I'm
had.
looking for him too.
Carry my best wishes with you in any event.
Oh, I see what that means. Yeah, so... I don't think this guy does anything. Yeah. We'll just leave him to do his thing. He's having fun.
Word is you're taking on that new Thieves Guild, friend.
Yeah.
Watch your back. And maybe get some armor for it, too.
Alright,
Any of these weapons would be sure to stop a thief dead in his tracks.
Yeah, like I said, they ran some fantastic miles with this game.
Guild, be sure to get them all. Thieves have long memories.
So I think I actually kind of want to blow some money here and just buy the whole...
deals. What are you looking for? Our shop carries the fine...
Yeah, I'm doing it. We're just gonna max out our armor for this act, essentially. And we're looking pretty. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take the helmet off. I'm gonna go helmetless. Yeah! Look at him, he looks great!
You're taking on that new Thieves Guild, friend. Watch your back.
Yeah, our guy's looking good. So that's... Scale is the best armor in Act 1. That's gonna take us through to the end. So...
The entrance to the guild is on the first level of the sewers in...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, so that's fun. Alright, so... I know I said a little earlier that the town is not... That technically doesn't have any use to going about it. And it doesn't. I actually, to be completely honest, I did not know this was here as a kid. I never went through the town. But it looks like now, great news. We're going to be smarter as an adult, and I'm going to just go through the sewers here. And we're going to be right where the end of Act 1 starts. The end of Act 1. Act 1, Part 3. It's one of those Homestuck situations. Now, Homestuck. I'm not much of a Homestuck guy. Not in a bad way. I got through the first few acts. I kind of fell off when it started getting longer, you know.
What happened?
I left off at the,
Why do the priests still
if you're a
live?
Homestuck person at all, you know about this. The
do not
felt.
know, my Lord Xantum. I have heard rumors that
felt
the orb was
intermission.
destroyed before it could do more than slay
That's
a
what I'm
few
gonna be
priests.
By whom?
I do not.
So we already know that. That's a big old beholder. Because I spoiled it. It's my fault. If you want to leave a nasty comment on me spoiling this game in the stream, that's on me. I'll take it. I can take it. But, Yeah, it wasn't much of a Homestuck guy. Right up to the felt part. That intermission there, really cool. I loved it. And I'll tell you the reason I loved it, to go backwards into this, Okay, I just want to talk a second for how these guys move. It's always weird in a game when there's clearly two different models entirely for human characters. And that's kind of what's going on here. This thief NPCs were very clearly just modeled differently than humans. Like our main guy, who was just animated well better. But yeah, I feel like they weren't supposed to be human initially, and then they ended up being a skin. You know what I mean? But going back to the Homestuck thing, really important thread that I keep having to come back to. I watched a lot of Problem Sleuth. Reddit. I love Problem Sleuth. That was Andrew Hussey's second comic on his website. The comic right before Homestuck. That's what he... And so there's some very obvious... Homestuck is basically like a parody of like a noir detective. You know, it's wacky noir detective hijinks. It gets insanely creative. That story really goes places. And if you've read Homestuck at all or familiar with it, then the Problem Sleuth influence, I guess you could say, is very obvious with a lot of characters. There's just quite a few characters that are very obvious one-for-ones with some of the old Problems guys. Like Spades Slick, I believe his name is in Homestuck. Very obviously a recreation, a spiritual sequel of the character Problem Sleuth himself. Fantastic series. Fairly short too. The web series only went on for a year before he started writing Homestuck. And it's one of those. If I ever, I'll say this: I have an idea of how I would do a long form video talking about it, and it wouldn't really be a retrospective style with hardcore analysis and going through every single chapter. I have a very different idea of how I do it, and I guess I'll keep that in my pocket instead of spilling the beans, because it's very much a possibility that I do that. And if I did it, it would be this summer. I think I'll work on it this summer and have it done before the end of the summer. So hold me to it. Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. Hold Closer, Tony Danza. And I gotta be careful, I could end up in another gank situation. Alright, we're good. It's weird, I'll be honest, it's a lot weirder. There's not a lot of other... I'm trying to think if that's true. Yeah, this is really the only act with humans. You know what I mean? People enemies. And so it is, admittedly, a very weird upgrade to be moving from fighting rats to, at the end of this act, we're just straight up... I wouldn't say murdering. We're killing people. You know what I mean? That's a change. That's a pretty significant change. So I believe the Thieves Guild is only 2 levels? Actually, could be wrong on that. And then we're moseying our way to Act 2. That should be the end of the stream today. Or the end of this episode of this Let's Play, as I said, if you're watching this on the VOD. This has essentially turned into a Let's Play. And if you're wondering, I think this is a fair question to have in your head. I haven't had a lot of viewers today. A few people have come in and out, which I'm very grateful for. I had one or two people that stayed for quite a while, which is great. I've had no comments, which is okay. If you're wondering if this is like sad, then I'm gonna go later and feel sad because I did a whole stream for 3 hours and got like no viewers. No, I'm okay. You know, I'm having a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm having a ton of fun. Just being in an era where I'm more confident in myself and making content and putting myself out there and talking about games and life experience. It's a good time. So, you know, I'd do this for -2 streamers or -2 viewers. 'Cause, I'm learning to be more comfortable with myself by just letting myself talk into the internet. Because I'd like to think, as anyone should, really, I'd like to think I deserve to have a voice, I guess. I think I got a little lofty there, but that was more for the VOD folk later. I just want people to know that I'm not gonna get depressed later. I'm actually having a great time. I don't know if you could have 2 rings at once. Oh, you can. Well, that's not actually useful. At least for melee, it's not really useful to have magic. So, just gonna sell that bad boy later. Sorry, I'll stop jumping. Now old habits die hard. What can I say? And we're at level 2. Speaking of die hard, just to throw my 2 cents literally everywhere today. It's kind of awesome that we've like come almost full circle, or at least like another layer deep into the Die Hard is a Christmas movie discourse. And by that I mean like enough people have just like, I would say 15 years ago saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie was like novel. And now it's like, it's just like, yeah, Die Hard was a Christmas movie, okay? Like, what do you want? You know, what do you want? It's just a matter of fact now, to where that you know, that's not a cutting edge take anymore. It's just now as a society that we've grown, you know, and I'm glad that my metric is how people view Die Hard as a Christmas movie or not. So here's this jump puzzle. I say puzzle, it's really pretty simple. So we gotta go there. Go there. Watch me say that and still die. And that's what happens. Very few places in this game where that happens, but you do immediately die if you fall off. And same here. If I fall into that cavern, I'm dead. And that's you know, one way you could do things. I can't say it's an interesting decision. I think that was fairly commonplace in the 2000s, 2010s even. I would say it's gone away now. It was probably even a thing in the 90s. Certainly in the 90s. A lot of 90s games were riddled with insta-kills for poor decisions. A lot of player punishing instant deaths in old games. But, yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of a game that's generally oriented around fighting or combat or having health that kind of has insta-kill opportunities. Some are good in general, but some, like platforming in an RPG like this, I guess it works because the engine is decent, but platform in general in an RPG is a terrible thing to add. I'm thinking about Ultima. I don't know which one I'm thinking of. Ultima, the bad one, the really bad one, Pagan. It's Ultima 8 that has platforming. absolutely awful platforming. That was a very unfortunate decision to make, and it makes the game significantly more suffering to play. It's one of those games that I actually wouldn't mind playing through if there wasn't such, like, wall-hitting moments like that, where you feel like you'd just rather play something else. But I actually do very much enjoy playing old RPGs that are even, like, just not considered to be well made. Whoa! Yeah, sorry for the arachnophobes. I couldn't give a warning. Didn't have time to give a warning. But we got some fat spiders coming up. Not too many. Not too many, thankfully. We're through the worst of it. Okay, I can't say that with any guarantee. So is this so interesting? Do you hear? I don't know if you heard that combat sound or that damage sound. Vaughn, and by Vaughn I mean our human character, definitely has like 3 voice actors going on. Like I feel like the jump sound is a different guy. The damage sound is definitely like that Jim Cummings guy. I don't know if it actually is Jim Cummings, by the way. It's either Jim Cummings or Jim Cummings adjacent. He's got that energy. And then when Vaughn actually talks, like, I don't know, I can't pull anything right now. Totally different guy. So 3 voice actors, 1 character, 1 game. Yeah, he just said that. That definitely isn't the same guy making the, Yeah, definitely not the same, like, guy. Because that was the more growly, gravelly, Jim Cummings-esque man. It could be Jim Cummings. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. And we're having a, we get to have a where are they now moment, where we see where we've improved. What I'm going to do then, because I know this is kind of the labyrinth part. That's the final stretch, essentially, I believe, of Act 1, Part 3. So what I want to do is I'm going to save. I guess I didn't have to run all the way back. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to recall, and I'm going to buy some health potions. Because we are in the last stretch of the first part of this game.
Word is you're taking on that new thieves guild.
Yeah, I am. How did you know?
And maybe get some armor for it, too.
You get around, my guy. You're very knowledgeable.
Any of these weapons would be sure to stop a thief dead in his tracks.
Boy, do I bet you're right. I'm gonna buy the scale. Helmet, finish out. Set, and check this out. Never looked better. Never looked better.
Word is you're taking on that new thieves guild, friend. Watch your back. And maybe get some armor for it.
So definitely one of those games where, as you can see, about half of my equipment load is just from me.
Word is you're taking on that new thieves guild, friend.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I went back to the menu. I just decided I might as well buy the second. But hold on.
I wouldn't...
I haven't found her box of spices yet. I could be wrong. I could be wrong then. About that being the case. This is the last stretch. I just remember it being the last stretch. We're gonna find out. I don't want to miss out on that side quest. I will go back and rummage around for the box of spices if I missed it. I don't want to miss out on any content. You guys are here for hard-cutting, thorough gaming, alright? No one does it better. Best in the game. Top 10 competitive ranked Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance player right here. And that's what I'm here for. So that's funny, is that guy definitely had more health than the other blue slimes I came across. just kind of had a moment in my head. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this too, but I was thinking about going back to the shorts thing. And I think I probably will just do it. I don't think it's something I should overthink. Like, it's something I kind of want to do, and I don't need to overthink just, how I want to do things. This channel for me is all about having fun and being more creative and getting myself out there, hopefully providing some things that are actually informative or thought-provoking to people, you know, just little sprinkles. And if I want to freaking clip this stream into shorts that people will watch, I shouldn't really press myself too hard about that. And I hope it would serve as a good, motivator for someone else someday, you know? Like, if you've ever thought about making videos and you haven't, at the time of them recording this, I've really only been doing it for 2 months. I'm having so much fun, and I'll keep saying that. That's actually the last time I'm going to say it, because I feel like if I say it again, you're not going to believe me anymore. You're like, this guy definitely has a gun to his head. There's some guy's holding him hostage in an apartment, making him make these videos. That I would, you know, I would love to encourage anyone that's interested in doing that to just do it for themselves, for their own sake. I don't know if you've been to r/newtubers or like any subreddit dedicated to like new up and coming or like small YouTubers. I have to be honest, and I'm not trying to rag on these people at all. I feel really bad for them, but so many of them seem to get so absorbed in the metrics. Like, when you have a YouTube account that makes, like, a channel that makes videos, you get YouTube Studio, right? And that shows you all the stats of, like, here's how many views your video got, and other stats, too, like, you know, I don't even know what they're all called, but, like, you know, here's how many people saw your video and decided to click on it, and here's how long they watched, and here's when they stopped watching the video. Now, those are all very well and good. Those are all very nice, informative things to have. But these people are obsessed with these numbers in a really awful way. It's very sad to see. So if you are going to do it, I just want to encourage you, don't... at least this is what has been making this still fun for me. So I'm not really worried about the numbers. And I'm going to recall real quick because there's a boss. I want to buy some more health potions.
Word is you're taking on that new Thieves Guild, friend. What?
I just don't think... I think I would already have quit. Like, I already would have stopped making videos if I cared about the numbers. Because to me, this is about, like, enjoying myself and getting to know myself better. And
so,
anyway,
I've
had that little eat, pray, love moment. We can
the chance to kill
whoop this guy to next Sunday, actually. That's not true. He's actually going to completely die and will not be here. Yeah.
You speak the truth.
Yeah, I think you should surrender. You should give up. I don't want to do a boss battle right now.
Still, it matters little
I'd feel bad
whether
for
you
you.
kill me or not. For either way, you will still die.
What?
Even if you kill me, my lord waits below.
Yeah, that's right.
Your death at his hands will be a slow one compared to the mercy I will show you.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm pretty good at killing giant eyeball guys. You can block too. Interesting. I think there's supposed to be music here. It's not a setting that I've turned off. Oh, he's... Oh! He whooped me. What do you know? That's fun, guys. Do I have to go back and buy that? Yeah, I do have to go back and buy that. I did not expect that to happen. Man, he gave me a licking.
Word is you're taking on that new Thieves Guild.
They're just gonna sell all the
Watch your back. And maybe get some armor for it, too.
Okay. some more potions. It would be nice too. Quality of life update, guys, on this game. If you want to patch it, is it'd be nice to know how many potions you have while you're buying more. Someone email. I'm gonna email Black Isle later and say, hey, can you guys patch this game to have that, please? Thank you. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that.
So, you've come all...
I hit a potion for the boss. Man, that was a waste. Alright. Yeah, dude, he's kind of messing me up. He's kind of obliterating me. I can say I did not expect that. He's brutal! I still don't remember that being the case. Alright, so this seems to be a little bit of the key is get him on the ranged attack. Yeah, if we get into inboxing with him, he starts to whoop us. Now I failed that completely. But... Oh, we got him on the ropes, pals. Oh, it's so over for you. Watch this. Who does it better than me? Nobody. Yeah, rip, dude. Except, there's a guy in Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 who's also named Karn, but with an H. And I'm not making this up. I'm not lying to you. It's very, very odd. Well, that's nice. Alright, so I would like... What would I like? More attack speed? I'm very much overthinking this one, guys. Sincere apologies. What I will do is... Yeah, I think I want to be faster and I want a little more crit damage. That makes more sense. I want to go crit heavy. Now, where does this go? Is there level 3? There is a level 3. I don't know that. I don't know if the level 3 actually leads to the next boss or if there is a third level to this area. I'm happy with either. Very happy with either. So it is a third level. Well, what do you know? So I don't think we missed the spices at all, then. Oh, yeah, there is a third level. Okay, so, you know, I saved. Let me save right now. I'll show you guys what happens when, this is what happens. And it does play the... It obviously just disabled your model, but still plays the animation and your place in the world. But yeah, you get, immediately destroyed. So you just have to avoid that. There's no other way around that. It's very generous of them to have a save every time, though. So, at the very least, it's not insufferable. It's just very interesting. And see, right there is where it could be a problem. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Now, what's nice physically is like what I just did accidentally is like being able to hop like that. That's just neat. I just dang old neat. Perks of this engine. It seems like with this engine they made they made 3 games that worked really, really well, and they made 1 game that just kind of stunk. This, honestly, for the time that this game was coming out, this engine seems like a gold mine to me. Like I almost wish that more games would have been able to have been made in this engine. But maybe I'm a very specific kind of guy, and that this game doesn't seem at all entertaining to other people. They call me an archer, but what they don't know is that I'm actually a stealth archer. Now this is a goofy one. This is a goofy one. Check this out. Honestly, that's a pretty fun one. And get some more bugbears to round it all out. It seems to me, however, they made the NPCs, they just kind of made stronger variations for the end of Act 1 here, because I don't know if you're doing the math, dear viewer, but, no, I missed something. Guys, I don't want to miss that spice box. I'm gonna go all the way back. Watch this, guys. I'm gonna go all the way back just to find it. I really thought it was... Like, it's gotta be... Okay, that's funny. Alright, oh. Well, I'm glad I did. Look at that, guys. We just made some more money. What makes more sense? You know what makes the most sense, actually? Everybody? Do this. So all the stuff that we just got.
Word is you're taking on that new thieves guild.
Yeah, you know it, dude.
And maybe get some armor for it too.
Now we're talking. This guy's talking some
Any
sense.
of these weapons.
This guy's talking some serious sense.
I can't do that here.
You always know what to say, Vaughn. So I'm gonna loop back around to the beginning, and I'm just gonna run through it, or not run through it. I'm gonna run through the first level very quick to find the spice box, and then I'm going to recall again. No, I'm going to think even smarter. I have an even better idea what I'm going to do, and I think it should work if I think this game is coded the way that I think it is. We're going to find out. I think if I did the recall that I just did, I come back in the first level to grab this item, run back to the tavern around this way. I can then recall back again from inside the tavern, and I'll go right back to the to where we started at the end of level 3. I think that should work. We're gonna find out in real time. And also, that'd be kind of awesome to know if that works. Now, where is this spice box? I know where it is, like in the Rolodex of my head, somewhere in my brain. I just don't know if that memory is going to return to me in this moment. It might just be that side room right there. It might just be it. It might have been that easy from the start, and I wasn't up to the task the first time. I'm not apologizing for jumping anymore. I'm a new man. What are the odds I already have the box and I just need to go talk to her? I didn't really think about that. I don't know. Yeah, odds are good that I already have the spice box. I think it would have been in here. There's some side rooms here though. Let's find out. Let's be thorough. So whenever we get that box, we're good. We're good to just mash that monster. Mash him up good. And get on our way. And have a very merry Sunday evening. Not that I'm in a hurry. To get out of here. I'm that. Let's say, what? 3 hours? 3 hours ain't bad. I feel like I must have already picked it up and I just freaking didn't even pay attention. I'll go back and watch this later and realize how much of a dum-dum I am. Okay. Well, Maybe it was here and I didn't. I don't know, dude. Odds are good that I already freaking grabbed it. That's what all I'm saying. This seems like a really... Oh, no! Oh, I am so grateful to be where I am in this world, in this place, in this life right now. To have real there being, you know? To have Dasein, as Heidegger called it. It's a great video idea for any viewers or VODers. Final Fantasy VII is absolutely littered with the existentialist philosophy of Martin Heidegger. Now, Heidegger, to keep it family friendly, was just a bad dude. Let's put it this way: the guy was a German in 1940s Germany, and unfortunately, he sided with the bad guys, right? And wasn't on the front lines or anything. Obviously, he was a professor and a philosopher, but he also didn't disagree, right? Anyway, all that to say, he wrote a book called Being in Time, among other books. His book talks about Dasein, their being, which is just the idea of... I'm gonna stop jumping for this for this segment. About being kind of really in tune with just who you are and where you are in the world and your place and position in life. Not that that is necessarily being determined for you, but that just like wherever you're going or wherever you want to be in life, there you are, right? So, Heidegger just kind of believed in this like life essence, this life stream, you may call it, that kind of guides us on our way, and it's almost like Dasein, not in like an overly pantheist spiritual sense, but that there's just like if being itself is a thing, that it can sort of be this thing that's guiding us on its way. He also was absolutely obsessed with nature, and he very much believed, and he wrote a bunch of, quite a few times, but specifically in Being in Time, about humanity being the type of folk that are penchant to use the earth, like just destroy it of all its resources for humans' own needs and not caring about the earth itself, which, coincidentally, is like the entire plot of Final Fantasy VII. So I don't know if that's a video anyone's made, but if you want to make a video, cheap video idea for you, the philosophy of Martin Heidegger and Final Fantasy VII. He's literally in the game. There's a character named Heidegger, so it's not subtle. But that would be a great video.
Spend too much time with me, stranger. Best move on, lest my misfortune attach itself to you.
Well, I got a present for you.
Spices, you found them. You have my thanks, stranger. Please take this as payment. It's the least I can give you for returning the spices to me.
Ooh. Well, thank you, actually. That's a great shield. I don't see how the... Oh, yeah. That's a huge win. Gotta love a glowing object.
Word is you're taking on that new Thieves Guild, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
And make...
Who told you? How'd you find out about it? How'd you know that was going on? only the 12th time he said that. Yeah, let me take some water real quick, very quickly. Well, golly. All right. Now that we're parched, or no longer parched, I'm in the business of Oh, I want to test the thing. I think I'm right. Ah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. I'm so glad I was right on that. Saved everyone a bit of time. Now let's go whoop this secret boss of the Thieves Guild. Ooh. Who could it be? I don't know.
So, you are the stranger that Khan spoke of. You humanoids all look alike to me, weak and fragile. Khan should have killed you when he had the chance.
Gotta say, great look, great voice acting. He looks
fantastic.
It is no matter. There are always others like him, small-minded and foolish, eager to take his place. You humanoids were born to be our slaves. And you will answer for those deaths. Do you think that your efforts here have saved this city? You're wrong.
What?
Our
What
power
do you
extends
mean?
far beyond these city streets. You cannot hope to stop us all.
That's ridiculous. Let's get to the fight.
You
I had a
will
thought
die,
about Santum.
and your death will be a slow one.
I don't even know what that means. But we're gonna whoop him. Got me, you. Ow. Get him. Get him. Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, this is just a bone splintering, toe curling, pearl clenching boss fight. And honestly, his final look there. Whoa-wee. He certainly got a look to him. And here's Jarek to, you know, basically take credit for the mess that we just made.
You have
Just
accomplished
kidding.
far more than I could have hoped. Truly, the Harpers are blessed to have you among our number. You have my thanks, and the thanks of all of Baldur's Gate.
Honestly, I forget the
These
Harper
maps on the wall.
turn. You know what I mean? The Harper spin.
Baldur's Gate, the Sunset Mountains, the Marsh of Chilimba.
Yeah.
It is as I feared. The evil that has risen in Baldur's Gate is only part of a greater evil. These three locations are tied, though I know not how. Oh, this gate worries me. This beholder and his legions were able to use it to enter Baldur's Gate without being detected. It seems this gate is tied to the Sunset Mountains. A further cause for worry. We've heard strange rumors.
It's kind of wild to me that that's what it took, I guess you could say, for undetected teleportation into Baldur's Gate. Because you'd think with how lousy this world is with magic,
I must ask you to head
teleporting
through the gate and
into
see what has
a
happened
city
to the
wouldn't be
Sunset
that hard
Mountains.
to do.
Other
But
creatures may have arrived
I might be
there.
overthinking it.
And if so, we must know their strength before taking action.
But it looks like we've got
You
a
have
bigger,
already accomplished much,
plot
and
and
we are
conspiracy going on, folks. This is more than a little thieves'
Here is some
guild.
gold and items that may aid you on your mission. Use them wisely.
Yeah, okay.
I must go and tell the dukes of the city what has been discovered here. Please rest and prepare yourself before heading through the gate. There's no telling what waits on the other side.
Right. And he's very right about that. It's a very interesting move here, which is that the beginning of Act 2, and we got a very cool thing that I get to see in a second. 8, 19 versus 13. It's a no-brainer, folks. Well, I thought it would do the... It's supposed to be on fire. I swear it's cool, guys. I might switch back to the mace then, because that's more consistent damage. All I have to say, cannot recall from here. He's full of baloney. It might just be because it's the boss room. He's very right in saying that we should be careful about getting ready before we before we send ourselves out, because when we leave Act 1 and go through that portal, we are sent. It's a little while before you find a safe spot. You're quite literally thrown into the thick of it.
I heard
And
of
that's
your
cool.
battle in the Thieves Guild, friend.
It's pretty
you
awesome.
may have saved all of Baldur's Gate from that beholder. Please, my shop is yours.
And that's really cool too. I can't remember hearing that voice line, from
Be sure
memory.
to tell everyone you meet you buy weapons from my store.
Boy, that would be fun, guys.
I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's so much more fun.
We have many fine deals. What do you...
It's a lot more fun to start Act 2 with, is just a nasty sword that does a lot of damage. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're 9 experience points away from level 7. That's fun. That makes me wonder if we missed, like, one monster somewhere. I feel like that has to be the case. I don't think they do the math that scuffed.
Our shop carries the finest dwarven weapons, brought here all the way from the Sunset Mountains.
We're out of potions. These buy 2 health potions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll find out later if I counted right. Look at that. Who's to say I'm not the best? Yeah, so since Act 2, and Act 3 does this too, I think it's awesome. You basically just get... You have to fight your way through a little bit of stuff before you actually get to a safe point. All that to say is that it's better to stop here than it is to try to pick it up later. So, I guess it gives us a pretty clean slice of how the game is, to say something very quickly. I'd say Act 2 and 3 are of comparable length, and then Act 4, if you want to call it that, is just the final dungeon, the last dungeon in the game, the point of no return, so to speak. Pretty tight game. It's only going to get better. So I hope you appreciated watching this today. I hope some of you watch on the VOD later, at least some of it. Thank you for being here. And thank you for staying to listen. Very much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. I'll see you in a week. Well, new video on Tuesday, so you'll see me then. But I'll actually talk to you guys on Sunday.